Okay, so we've installed our little landing nub here, the skid. Now we're moving to the cantilever part. All right. Now the manual just shows you taking this guy and just fitting it up there and gluing it down. You know, we're going to use the standard welder's dry method of gluing, where we glue it all up, fit it, pull it apart, let it dry, stick it back together. And that's what they want you to do. Now, on all my cantilevers, on my planes, because I've flown a few of these planes from Twisted Hobby, I embed a piece of carbon across this to keep it straight. Okay, I don't want it to flex or bend or stuff like that. So, I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so what I do is I get my piece of carbon that I want, and I figure out where it's going to live. I mark it on both sides, then I lay a straight edge and I make sure we're even straight to back. What I'm saying is there's a parallel line, so I look at the gap at the back of the straight edge. Then I grab my razor and I slice all the way through the foam. Okay? And this will leave me a nice slice like this. You see that? Now what I'll do is I'll embed the piece of carbon like that, okay? And I'll actually welder's glue on both seams and both sides. So I'll lay in my welders like this, right down the seam, and I'll flip it over, lay my welders in on that side, okay? I'll squish it all together, then I'll welders up my carbon, and on the other side, let it all dry up for a while, and then fit it back together and keep everything flat when you're working on the table. Alright, so that's how you make the carbon embedded cantilever, which isn't part of the manual, it's just something I do, so consider this kind of like a bonus tip. Alright, we're going to install the cantilever. We're going to glue this whole surface and glue this surface, flatten everything out with our fingers, get it all nice and tacked up, glue everything fitted together, pull it back apart, let it dry for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes depending on your humidity and weather conditions and temperature and stuff. But basically when it's dry to the touch, you're ready to reinstall it. And you're going to look down the fuselage and make sure everything's nice and square, like so. Fit the nose in of this first, and I'm looking right down. I'm going to get it around this block, and I'm going to lightly fit it. When I say this block, that little square in the middle, get it all just to kind of sit in there. Okay, and you know, you want it to be square to everything, so you got to be careful, because if you got a crooked one, it's, you know, not going to fly right. So take your time and get everything pushed down on there the way it's supposed to go. Sometimes you have to use a tool to push it to get it to go seat properly, especially after the glue's dried for a minute. I'm not cutting, I'm just kind of moving some foam around so things can fit nice. Rock it back and forth. And most importantly, you want to go down the, you know, step back and make sure that it's straight. You know, not canted or crooked. You want it to be straight. Okay, because it's going to dry and it's going to be that way forever until you rip it off and reset it if you didn't get it right. Looks pretty good. So that's it for the cantilever.